Salutations, my name is Zach Johnson, and today we are going live from the Nest. I'm joined with the amazing Dale Franzen. How are you today, Dale?
I'm good, Zach.
Thank you so much for coming in today. Another beautiful day in sunny California.
Best coast.
Best coast. I'd love to start by giving a background on you. I'd love to have everybody know who Dale Franzen is, and if you don't mind, a little shameless self-promotion.
So started as a music theater, operetta, opera singer. Did that for many years and had a wonderful time. Got to sing with Placido Domingo, with Frederica von Stade. Got to work with Jonathan Miller, the great director, and Sir Peter Hall, and had a fantastic time. And then made a career transition and built the Broad stage in Santa Monica. About
right down the street from here.
Right. About 10 blocks from here.
Okay.
And did that for the next almost 2 decades, 17 years. And during that time, I began developing work specifically for the Broad stage, or what I thought would be for the Broad stage. And my first project was Hadestown, which is why you and I came together, which is an off-Broadway show that has a live album coming out on October 6th.
Very exciting. With
Warner Music Group and Ghostlight. And the development of that show has actually taken me on a new career path, which is now as a commercial producer heading to Broadway.
Amazing. Now, tell us about Hadestown. What is this Broadway show?
So Hadestown was based on a concept album that Annie DeFranco and Righteous Babe produced, of Aeneas Mitchell, who wrote it and also performed in it, along with Bon Iver, Justin Vernon, and some other incredible cast members. And it's based on the Orpheus legend, the mythology of Orpheus and Eurydice, Hades and Persephone. And it's a modern retelling in the singer-songwriter vibe with kind of a New Orleans feeling to it. It's kind of bluesy, jazzy, folk singier. It's very specific and original music. And I loved it. And I went to Aeneas and said, this is a show. Shall we make this into a show? And she agreed. And that started our journey about 5 years ago.
That's fantastic. Now tell me the steps that you have to take to promote a Broadway soundtrack and a Broadway show. I imagine it's a very overwhelming process, but kind of give us the bullet points of putting together something like this.
So first you have the development phase, which is getting the book right, doing new musical arrangements, casting. And then usually, if you're lucky, you get to partner with a great theater company, which we did, New York Theater Workshop, which is one of the preeminent companies that develop new musicals. They developed Rent, Once, musicals like that, David Bowie's last musical, Lazarus. So we worked with them, and we did our first production, which was in the round last summer, a big hit. Vogue called it your next musical obsession.
Wow.
We were lucky enough to have Lin-Manuel Miranda tweet out what a great show it was. So it was pretty exciting.
That's fantastic.
And then the next step is to ask yourself, what are you going to do next?
Right.
So we were lucky enough that Warner Music Group came on board to record the cast album live, which, by the way, is, I don't think, ever been done. They actually recorded it from live performances pre-Broadway.
Wow.
So it's an exciting live, you feel like you're in the room with these people and with the audience. So for the die-hard Hadestown fans, they just will go bonkers. But for new people, it'll really give them a sense of the show. And then in terms of promoting it, of course, we then came to you. So we have Ghostlight, Warner, and Hawke Media, you guys, promoting this album, which is released October 6th globally. Which we hope will sell tons and tons of copies, but also build the momentum to go to Broadway, which is our next step.
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, and some of the things that we're doing for Hadestown is really targeting likely candidates of this album, people that are interested in Hadestown, your sort of lifer fan base. And then we want to educate people that haven't heard about Hadestown. So people that like Broadway, people that prefer to listen to soundtracks. For me, I like to listen to a soundtrack while I'm cooking. So incorporating that into my life. We have so much media going on that it's important that we spend wisely as we're targeting these likely candidates, likely listeners of the album, to eventually get them to buy a ticket to the Broadway show when that time happens. So we're going to be doing a combination of Facebook paid acquisition, we're going to be doing email marketing, we're going to develop a strategy that really creates momentum for this Broadway album to eventually get people in the seats for the Broadway show. So I'd like to thank you for, coming in a month ago and really, what I love about you, Dale, is you're very selfless. You care about the people around you, and you want to make sure that, if you see some talent or you see something in somebody, which I think you've seen in me, you're going to expose them to your network, and you've made some incredible introductions for me in the last month. So thank you for just being you. And, Hadestown is really the vehicle for us to be connected, and just so excited to be aboard this ship of the Hadestown album to the Broadway show.
I want to give a shout out, speaking of sharing the good news.
Yeah.
We were so lucky to go to the Citadel,
Okay.
which is the second largest performing arts center in Canada. It's in Edmonton.
wonderful.
Amazing theater, an amazing group of people. So we're going there next, pre-Broadway,
Okay.
to build on the show. We're going to a much bigger theater. We're making it proscenium instead of in the round, which means that it's like that. You're sitting here and you look there, that's pretty traditional theater.
Right.
And if anybody wants to come to Canada, come to Edmonton, November
Wonderful.
16 to December 3rd.
That's
You should
fantastic.
definitely come.
I'm coming. I'll
We're
be
very
there.
excited to be working with Canada because they are a country that deeply supports the arts, and they've really just gone crazy over this show. So we're very
Wonderful.
excited to work with Daryl Cloran up there, who came after us to get this show up there, and it'll get us absolutely ready to go to Broadway.
Wonderful. So October 6th, we have the Hadestown album being released.
Hadestown album release.
Hadestown album release is going to be on iTunes, it's going to be on Amazon, it's going to be on Spotify. If you like Broadway, if you like soundtracks, give it a go. Give it a preview. I promise you'll enjoy it. I've had the chance to listen to it. It's amazing. Warner did a fantastic job.
Fantastic job.
Taking the live element, but really making you feel like you're there for the composers. So amazing, amazing album. And Dale, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Zach.
That will end our episode of Live from the Nest. Join us next week, and thank you again for joining us.